Hi everyone, welcome back to Eden. How are you all doing? So I hope you're all doing great. So before we start with the lesson which we are actually dealing with types of adjectives, please do like, share and subscribe. So in the previous class we were discussing about participle adjective, right? Today we'll be discussing the next type of adjective which is limiting adjectives. Okay, what are these? Limiting adjectives. So limiting adjectives, when we are saying that word limiting, we can understand that limiting means restricting something, isn't it? Basically, these adjectives are used to modify the nouns, right? So here when we are talking about limiting adjectives, how do they modify the nouns or pronouns? The limiting adjectives modify the nouns or pronouns by restricting them rather than actually describing about the qualities or traits. Okay, adjectives actually modify. Here what they do? They will restrict what? Restrict the qualities. They won't be describing the qualities, but they'll be restricting. Okay, they'll be restricting the noun or the pronoun. Actually, we are supposed to describe the noun or a pronoun. That is the modification of noun or pronoun. But here they will be limiting it, limiting the use. Like these limiting adjectives are again so many, some of the adjectives which we have already seen. We have seen demonstrative adjectives, isn't it? We have seen demonstrative adjectives. What are they? They'll be used to demonstrate, to point out something in space with respect to time. Okay, so like the words this, that, these and those. These are all demonstrative adjectives. We have already discussed this type of adjective. These are also what? They are also limiting adjectives because they are not actually describing, they are not describing or modifying the noun or pronoun. They are actually limiting it. This book or this movie is funny. Suppose if I am saying, this movie is funny. It is just pointing out at it. This is the adjective. It is describing, it is actually pointing out, it is actually trying to show about the movie. Okay, it is trying to show about or tell about movie. But it is not describing, it is not telling about its qualities. Okay, is it trying to show any quality of the movie? Good movie, nice movie. Okay, so if it is something like that, then it is a quality description. Okay, but here it is just demonstrating, it is just showing up. So that means here the noun or the pronoun is being restricted. Their qualities or traits are not being shown completely, right? So limiting adjectives are adjectives which are used to, they will modify the noun or pronoun by restricting rather than actually describing the qualities or traits, right? So that is about the descriptive, demonstrative adjectives. Likewise, some other limiting adjectives are there. Demonstrative is over. Next is, we have even seen proper adjectives. That is also limiting adjective. Okay, so similarly we can even say like quantifying. Quantifying means, what is meant by quantity? Quantifying means it is used to tell about the quantity. Okay, it is used to tell about some quantity. That means the noun is being described with the help of quantity. I have mangoes. Suppose I have got mangoes, but I am not telling how many. I am just saying I have some mangoes. I have some mangoes. This some which is actually talking about the mangoes, it is the adjective. But what type of adjective is it? It is actually limiting it. It is actually limiting. We are not exactly telling what is it. We are not trying to tell about the quality of mangoes. We are trying to tell about that we have got some mangoes. So that is a type of limiting adjective and it is trying to tell about the quantity. So it is called as a quantifying adjective, right? Like some, many, few. Okay, words like some, many, few, less, all, several. All these are like any. So these are the words which are used to mention about the quantity. So they are called as quantifying. This is one way of expressing wherein the number is not particularly mentioned. But there is another quantifying way wherein you will be particularly telling about the number. Okay? If the number is told in particular. This number can even be expressed in two ways. Cardinal numbers and ordinal numbers. What are these cardinal numbers and ordinal numbers? Cardinal numbers are numbers like 1, 2, 3, 10, 100, 1000. All these numbers which we directly say, those are called as cardinal numbers. Like 1, 2, like that. Okay, all these are cardinal numbers. But what about these ordinal numbers? They are used to tell about the state, like first, second, third, like that. Okay, so these type of numbers are called as ordinal numbers, which are used to mention about the position. Ordinal numbers generally mention about the position. With respect, this is also numbering only. And cardinal numbers generally mention about quantity. Okay, so both come under quantifying adjectives only. So how are they used in sentences? Suppose I have told you, in quantifying, when we are not definite, when we are indefinite. So that is also a type of adjective, indefinite adjective. That means we are not definite, we are not particular about a particular number. So the adjectives which are used to modify the noun with the help of numbers, that is with the help of using quantifiers, quantifying quantities. But they are not definite, we are not particular about any of the quantity. Then we call them as indefinite adjectives like any, many, some, several, which I have already told. Now if you want to use it in sentence, you can say, chef added some spices. Okay, the chef added some spices. So we are trying to tell about quantity, some spices, but it is not exact number. So it is indefinite. We are not definite about a particular number. So this type of adjectives which are used to modify the nouns or pronouns, we call them as indefinite adjectives again. So these are again limiting adjectives because they are limiting it, they are restricting, they are not trying to explain the quality or the traits or the attributes of the nouns, right? Similarly, if you want to tell about like possessive, we have even seen possessive adjectives. What are possessive adjectives? Possessive adjectives tell us about the ownership like my, your, our. So all these words which will be telling about ownership, but they are not again describing the quality or trait or the attribute of a noun. So they are also limiting adjectives, right? So this also we have seen. What are the possessive adjectives we have seen? Mine, your, my, your, our, okay? It's, her, his, their, okay? All these are possessive adjectives. These are also limiting adjectives like we have seen in the sentences as we have already seen them. And coming to one more thing, the last and limiting adjectives we can say, they are articles. Articles. You might be wondering, articles is completely different from adjectives. Why are they coming under adjectives? But every article, whether it is a definite or an indefinite article, they are adjectives. They describe, like I can say, okay, there is a book. There is a book. So this article a, which is used in front of the book, which is a noun. So it is used to modify the noun. So it is telling that there is only one book. Okay, it is telling that there is only one book. So this a which is there, though it is article, it is nothing but a limiting adjective. So this is also an adjective. So the definite articles and the indefinite article. A and an are indefinite articles which are adjectives, and the definite article the is also an adjective. So all these are the limiting adjectives. So in simple, limiting adjectives are something which does not specify about the particular, it will not be telling about the quality or the attributes or traits of the noun, but they will be modifying the nouns by just restricting it, right? So for example, one more small example I'll give and I'll end with that. So she found, suppose I'm saying, she found 3 coins under the pillow. So coins here is the noun and it is being modified by using a word 3. This 3 is nothing but a cardinal number, quantifying adjective. Okay, quantifying adjective. So this in turn is nothing but a limiting adjective. So I hope you have understood what limiting adjectives are. So we will see other types of adjectives. Again, we have seen some more adjectives in this also. We have even seen indefinite articles, which are generally the words like some, many, okay, few, several, all and all. So some more adjectives which are there we'll be discussing in the next video. Please practice. Thank you.